Hello, and welcome to an episode of Todd Talks and Todd Talks. People listen. Your soul is ours. I can't do Maka, I'm sorry. Uh, it's like, soul resonance. Yes. Today, we are talking about the 200th episode of Death Battle. A feat that we honestly weren't sure we were going to get a little over a year ago when everything happened with Rooster Teeth and the Kickstarter was announced, and we're like, are we going to be able to fund this? Are we going to be able to pull this off? What are we going to do? And we got it. We got to this point, and peak. Yes, I am saying it. Ruby versus Maka is, in my opinion, easily one of the best independent death battles. Easily the best 3D death battle since we've gone independent. Well, hold on. Because I really did like Spider-Man versus Deku. No, I'll put this above that because I didn't like the ending to Deku, Miles Morales. This one had a really good ending. But yes, I'm going to put this at the top of it, and I want to give a very special shout out to Luis because I know you were nervous. I know you were hoping that we would all adore it. Dude, you crushed it. You absolutely crushed it. The battle was everything that it needed to be and more. And I'll touch on the little things that really made me happy, but know that you did it. This is amazing. It was the best 3D DB since you've gotten independent, in my opinion. So, where to begin? This was a fun one to watch because I'm a big fan of Ruby. Watched all the seasons, waiting eagerly for season 10, and I was hoping that they would take certain routes with it, and they did. I liked how they focused on, first her journey, then it was the aura, then it was the semblance, and then there was the silver eyes, because these are all very important parts of her character and her abilities. So I'm glad they didn't gloss over them and they focused on what makes what and what not. So that was very good. Then learning more about Soul Eater because, again, before this fight, I had only learned about it through the Chrono match with Venom, and obviously that was only one perspective there. And so learning more about Maka and Soul and their friends and their journey and how soul resonance works, which clearly I did not understand based on the wiki I read, because I missed certain moves that they did. I had no idea what Soul Adagio was. I was accurate about Madness and the black dress and all of that and how they worked together to defeat the Kinshin Asura. So that was good. But seeing it in more action, how they they really built up their character throughout their series and then throughout the preview was really a lot of fun. I love how Death Battle puts in little cameos and Easter eggs in the text breakdowns. For Ruby, we got Shino's Superman and Ragna the Blood Edge because of their crossovers. I was actually a little surprised that they didn't do a caption note about why they don't scale her to Superman, because I saw some people asking about this in the preview video. I was like, why doesn't she scale to Superman? I explained that it's very contextual, and even though it is canon, it is absolutely canon that she's met Superman. I'm not sure about the canon to Ragna, but that's not neither here nor there. It was important that it's not, they would never want to scale up to him or the others of the DC universe because of the breakdown of the two movies. So, and then for Maka, not only did they reference Maka Chop, they said she dislikes unfaithful men, which is a reference to her father. So that was pretty cool. All right, let's just get right to the battle. This was interesting for multiple reasons. One, visually, it was beautiful. Two, they got Lindsay Jones to be Ruby, so we have now had officially all 4 voice actresses for Ruby in Death Battle. Yes, I know Blake was only given clips for her fight with Mikasa. Mikasa, because it was Misaka Makoto, and but that was a very specific circumstance. It was still Blake's voice. It was just less of it. But we got Ruby here, and we even got a Yang. We even got Yang crying out for her sister. That was a great moment that I didn't see coming. What I loved about this fight was the choreography. And DJ actually mentioned in, I think it was a DV cast recently, or maybe it was John. Oh, it was John, who did the storyboards. John mentioned that there actually aren't a lot of side versus side fights out there, which is fascinating because people love doing all sorts of fights, right? But when you really think about it, typically you see like one side user, whether it's Rockin' the Blood Edge or Ruby or Maka or even the Grim Reaper at times, and yet but you never see them typically against another side user. So they were having to come up with their own choreography for the storyboards and for the final effects. So that's why you got to see some really cool stuff, because you can't do some of this stuff with swords and lances and bows and arrows and guns and whatnot. But yes, it is also a gun. Yes, and so they use that to full effect. I really enjoyed how they handled things. And then as always for me, it's the little details about how they showcase things, like Ruby's personality of, she's geeking out about Soul being a size. She's, asking Maka to stop hitting her. She's, like, I'm Ruby Rose and I'm a huntress. If I start crying during my breakdown of this, I'm sorry. Like, I cried watching this matchup. It was really, really good. But it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. And then they did, like, again, little details, like when Soul's playing the piano and we see the ogre behind him. I was like going, wait a minute, is this what's going to happen here? Or, Ruby's aura is getting shattered, and then Yang is the one that helps bring out the Silver Eyes. And then I appreciated them going against what I thought they would do and saying that Silver Eyes would work against Black Blood, because, as I mentioned in my preview video, I didn't think they'd go that route because it would technically be fan fiction. But they explained that it didn't really matter because they would, Maka and Soul's resonance would be able to overcome even the Silver Eyes, which works, especially with certain Grimm who did not die from the Silver Eyes blast. And again, Ruby's never, as I mentioned in the preview, Ruby has not mastered the technique. But doing that was cool, and then the ending side shot right up the middle was beautifully brutal, and then to end it with the side and the shattered moon with the laughing moon right there. That's how you do an ending shot. Okay, you hear me, Guts Dimitri? Yeah. Oh, one critique, and this is a me thing, and those who were in the Champions Lounge on the Discord, you'll know why I said this. I was really hoping that they would go for a rather emotional ending for Ruby in the preview, or sorry, in her previews, her breakdown section. There we go, her breakdown section, because of her journey through Volume 9. I even listed out how I would have written it, and ended it with, that girl is enough, because it's such a great line. I was actually a little disappointed that they talk about the mental break and then Boomstick goes, she got over it. I'm like, come on, that was a major arc. Like, but they recovered with the whole, sending a message of unity through the world and leading us to the moment that we've all been waiting for, and ending it with the shot of everyone in shade together. Because we are waiting for Volume 10. We're waiting, and like we're getting it finally, which is actually the one reason why it's fine we got Ruby Maka now, because it's like we don't know when 10 is going to come out, so why wait any longer? So, very small nitpick aside, that's just me speaking as a writer, I suppose. But this was everything it needed to be. Even if it doesn't get the views of certain other episodes from this season, and from Independent Death Battle, I don't think that matters. Not this time. It'll get 1 million. We'll make it happen. And then we get to look forward to what comes next, because the Death Battle's done 200 episodes. And now we get to see them do, hopefully, 200 more. And hopefully I get to write some of them. Hire me, Death Battle. But yes, episode 201. We're getting Blade versus Buffy. And it's the live action episode. Who called that? No one called that. Curse you, Mog Slothman, we're totally gonna eat you. Like, remember when he said that they were in Alaska doing something? Everyone actually believed them and thought that they were going to do Jon Snow versus Aragorn, which I would love. That's a great matchup. But no, we're getting Blade versus Buffy. Heck yeah. Which means this is the first female live-action death battle. First female live-action... First live-action DB with a female character. There we go. Because our last two times were Nightwing, Daredevil, and then Red Hood, Winter Soldier. So, while we have not gotten away from the comic book characters in live-action, we're at least getting Buffy, who, yes, I know translated into comics, but she started as a TV character. So, I am excited. Plus, remember, because they delayed Ruby Maka 1 week, the previews start next Sunday. Very excited. And with that, I will end this recap for the 200th episode of Death Battle. What did you think of Ruby Maka? Did you love it as much as I did? Do you agree that it's one of the best 3D episodes of the independent Death Battle session? Or if not, what one do you put above it? And of course, are you pumped for Blade versus Buffy in live action from Miss Mohawk? Let me know in the comments below. So, I thank you for watching. If you made it as far, I know you were listening. And I'll see you around.